Welcome back to the last part of this tutorial session. Now I will show you one example round of the whole game and show you all the interactions all the rules do with each other. So we are starting in the status phase during character turn. Normally we would advance the round tracker by 1, but for the first round we'd surely do this not. And we would get the reinforcement points for moving the round tracker. But in the first round this is not relevant. Then we would get -2 stress, but as everybody of our characters starts the game, every encounter with 0 stress, this is not relevant either. And the next turn is, the next thing which we need to do is roll all our action dice. So I just do this. 2, 3, 4. And now we need to get 1 stress for each one we rolled. So you see, Ashitaka rolled 2 1s, so he immediately gets stressed. As well, Korra with 1 2. With 1 1. This is fine. That is fine. So now everybody's got his action dice, and we have the opportunity to choose the first player. We now have to think, what do we want to do? Because as soon as the first player did his turn, the other next player does his turn, and so on, and then all the enemies activate. So what do we want to do? Main target of the mission should be getting to this space, getting this block tokens away, and then somebody running over here perhaps and like interacting with this space, perhaps even in the first round. Let's see what we can do. But there is this biomutant standing in our way because he's got this enemy special ability to give us a free strike as soon as we leave a space which he occupies. So if we would go here and then go one further, he would always give us 3 attack dice, an attack with 3 combat dice. And we don't want this because most of the characters, or even all of them, have to move through the space. So let's just devastate him. We say Valid is our start player. Okay, so we give the starting player token to Valid. After the starting player, you can again choose initiative freely. So after Valid could activate Korra or Ashitaka or Ada. The starting player token is just important because the reinforcement points which get like thrown away at the end of the enemy turn, they go as stress to the starting player. And there are a few other interactions by bosses, for example, with starting players. So starting player token is mostly informative, and we place it here at Valid's place. And then we say, so, no, look, we have got a lot of nice dice. So we just use one of those 6s to activate Canopus. Canopus has an activation number of 5, so we have paid higher than we need to, but that's fine for us. And we are just going to attack Biomutant number 2. He's in range and in line of sight. Let's see, 6 or higher, we can hit him. Oh, unfortunately, nothing. Come on. This is a really bad roll. And we cannot alter the roll of this thing, but we can alter this one. Let's see what we can do there. You see, this was a 6, and I changed the action dice to a 5. This means I get 1 stress. Then I use this 5 to activate this 5 again to activate Canopus again, and I'm allowed to roll 4 more dice against the Biomutant, hitting 6 or higher. What kind of roll is this? Sorry. 8, at least 1 damage for the Biomutant. It's the Biomutant number 2. So we place 1 damage token at the 2. And then we are going to push our stress level higher, even higher. The 6 goes to a 5. We give away the 5. We activate Canopus again, devastating the Biomutant in an array of laser beams. Oh yeah, 778. That's fine. He is destroyed. He only's got you can see his life points, his hit points here. He only gets up to 3 stress. More is not allowed. Then he gets taken away from the encounter map. So he goes from here to the spawn pool, back to the spawn pool. During enemy spawn phase, he can be spawned again, and we get rid of this damage marker. Okay, so nice overkill. Now we've got still a few dice left, and I think I will spend them for a super shot. So I've got 2 3s. If I would just like lay them down here, yeah, I could do super shot, as super shot has an activation cost of 2 3s. But actually I want to push the limits a little bit further, and I make it this a 4 and that a 4, and this means I get 2 stress, and I am allowed to manipulate each die only once. Then I set it down, and you see I fill the 4th space, so I get another stress. This shortly interrupts my action. At first I get a Nanoshock, so I get reset to 0. I get 1 Nanoshock cube. I get 2 damage, and I get my Nanoshock marker. Now, back to business. I'm still in my super shot action. I first have to end my action to get to use the Nanoshock action marker. So we are doing a super shot, and I have as a target this guy over there. I mean, it's a range of 1, 2, 3, 4, so perfectly fine. I've got line of sight from this corner to that corner, so I also can attack him like this. He's got a defense value against shooting of 6, so I roll my 4 dice, trying to hit 6 or higher. 7, 5, 7, perfect, nice. 2 hits for droid number 3. I place the 3 at this, here at this corner there. You can see it. There's the 3. Okay, but he's got 4 life or 4 hit points, so I didn't kill him off. But this doesn't matter, as I still got a Nanoshock action and I just want to resolve it. But before I do that, I have to see that I used my last action die, and whenever I use my last action die, I place 1 reinforcement point in the reinforcement pool. Okay. Now I use my Nanoshock action, and instead of hitting this guy again, I mean, I leave it for Ashitaka or Ada to finish him off. I try to attack this space because there are 2 enemies situated on the space, and my Nanoshock attack says attack any space on the encounter map and make a separate attack against the Nanoshock defense value of the enemy on the space against each enemy on that space. So I get to attack twice, once the number 1 mutant and once the number 3 mutant. So let's do this. Against Nanoshock attacks, the biomutants only have a defense value of 4. Yeah, you see this below this lightning symbol in the defense values. So I use my 4 dice, attack. Oops, we'll leave this over there. So I use my 4 dice to attack number 1. 5, 4, 5, 6, perfect. He gets devastated. A 4 is enough to hit him, and he only got 3 hit points, 3 life. Okay. So second action or second attack against Biomutant level 3. Remember, I am allowed to attack each and every enemy, and whenever I attack more than 1 enemy, I have to roll for each enemy separately. So also just killed off the table. 5, 6, 8, all enough. So go away, you mutated thing. Okay. And I have nothing left, so that's Walid's turn. Okay, I have made some space for you guys. Now get on and do something with it. Next up, I would say I activate Kara. She's one of the loveliest characters, and I didn't tell you so many about her special abilities because I will show you now what she's doing. Okay, listen. Kara does not have a weapon. Kara has Sidekick. And Sidekick is equipped as a weapon, but he cannot be used to do an attack profile because he has none. But he has this skill or this action on his card. And I can use this download action without having Sidekick on the board. He's like a weapon. I don't have him to be on the board for this action. To download 1 program from any enemy on the encounter map, you may use this program until the end of the encounter. And better than that, if I use some experience points or nanofragments after the encounter, I can inscribe this program on the hard drive of Sidekick, and this program will stay with the robot until I want to have it overwritten, because I only have 4 slots for 4 different programs. Okay, but let me show you how you can download stuff. We need to spend 2 2s, a double of 2s, to activate the download program. And I just do this. You see here, I mean, why not change this 1 to a 2 to get another stress, because we love stress. And then we give out this dice, get another stress. I activate the download program, and now I can choose from this row of programs. All the enemies come with different programs. It's written in the left upper corner of the enemy card which kind of program numbers, program IDs is the correct term for it, they bring with them. And the Biomutant brings a program with program ID number 1, the program slash, and program number 2, the program grab with it. And the security droid brings program number 3, a laser, and program number 4, abort with it. Slash is a very good close combat attack with 3 dice for Sidekick, so Sidekick can attack if he downloads this program. Grab is the possibility to paralyze an enemy. If you paralyze the enemy, you just lay him down. We are in Tabletop Simulator, we're putting him upside down, but in real, you're just laying it down. And he can do nothing else but just stand up when he's get activated. He cannot move, he cannot attack. He's just like getting ready for the next round. Very strong. The security droid brings with him a laser program, so shooting attack, but with only 2 dice instead of 3 dice from slash, but you've got 4 range, so it can stay in a safe position. And the abort program, it's a bit more complicated, but in general it says, you know, whenever the enemy rolls a 1 on his combat dice, yeah, whenever it attacks you and it rolls a 1, we get 1 of those reinforcement points added to the pool. And abort makes that all enemies in line of sight and range a 1 of sidekick. Sidekick needs to be on the board for this. They are not producing reinforcement points when they roll a 1, okay? So they get like a little bit nerfed. And why does he have to be on the board? I mean, there are 2 different kinds of programs, but now in this demo, we only have 1 kind of program. There's active programs. It's written here as a subtext, subtitle, and we have passive programs. In our whole prototype, you only will find active programs, but later on in the game, you will find passive programs. And passive programs actually are like this. You don't need Sidekick to be on the map to use them, but active programs always need a Sidekick to be the person or the character who does this program. So he needs to be on the map, and then he needs to attack or do whatever this program says. So we can now choose any of those programs. Let's just say we are really straightforward and want to get slash. The good attack. And to get slash, we already spent our 2 dice for the download ability. But slash also has a hacking profile written here. So this is where hacking comes into play. Ada, like Korra, has an hacking attack value, so a character combat value of 2 dice. She has no weapon combat value because Sidekick doesn't give her any additional hacking dice. So it's only 2 dice which she gets to download this program, and she has to do something which is an attack and a skill test at the same time. It's a hacking attack. Here, over this defense icon, this is the defense icon against hacking, there's a number written. This number indicates which value we have to hit at least on our dice to have a success in downloading the program. And this icon here, it's very, very tiny, and we will change it a little bit, but there's a 2 written inside. Actually, there will be 2 damage tokens over this die to make it even more clear, so this icon is not final. This means if you have a die which is not a success on your hacking attack against this program because you want to download it and it has a firewall or something, you can get 2 damage and change an unsuccessful die roll to a success. Let me show you how this works. So we said we want to download slash. The download program that's written in the rulebook gives us a free hacking attack against the defense value of the program, and the defense value of the program is a 5. So let's see how Korra does with her 2 dice. Perfect. A 2 and a 4, so no success, unfortunately. But as the push through icon says, we can now take 2 damage and just say this 4 is a 6 or a 5. And this would be successful, and now we have this program for Sidekick ready for him to use. So hacking always succeeds in one way or the other, but it's quite costly in the form that you get hit quite hard. Now, guys and girls, what do you think? What shall we do next? Let me show you something cool. We could bring a Sidekick on the board, but we don't want to. Actually, I think it's more convenient to just use 2 more dice and also to change them to 3s. So 1, 2 for changing them, and then I set it on this base. So Nanoshock, I get reset. I get to reset this, get 2 damage, get this Nanoshock thing. And I want to download another program, and the program I want to download is Abort. So I grab this. I roll my 2 dice for my hacking attack, which comes for free. Yes, I get it. So now I've got 2 programs here. And actually I will spend this last die for moving. And I move Korra over here to this space. Okay. There's no cost for going through security droids. Only mutants are attacking us when we are leaving a space in which they are. So that's Korra's turn. I moved. So I have to place a reinforcement point in the reinforcement pool. Don't know why it's already there, but now I placed the second one. Okay, then let's go to Ashitaka's turn. Like, super important, Ashitaka. The Ashitaka player always has to like visualize what will happen during the spawn phase. In the first turn, this normally does not work, but the encounter is programmed as so that even if you're not getting the hang of what will happen next, you can like survive one wave of enemies. But let's play it as if I would be a good player already. And what I want to do with Ashitaka is I want to stand at a space at which I have a good line of sight and a good range to all the spawn points for the next spawn phase. So this space is like crucial for my turn because 50% of the enemies will spawn there. And then I could as well see this perhaps from some position and this hex. I want to get all the enemies like attacking me after they spawn. So I need a position in which I'm like seeing all this stuff, and perfectly I would be also closest for a lot of those spaces to just don't need to spend my tokens for Provoke. Just let me show what I mean. I think this space is a good position because I see this and I'm 2 distant from this, and Korra would be 1, 2, 3 distant. So I would be closer to this spawn point than Korra, so they would automatically take me. This space I can see and this space I can see, and they are all in range 6, so Provoke would work very well. So I want to go there and then just hit this guy a little bit up, beat him up, and then be positioned. So what shall we do? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we need a 3. Oh, I've got too many good dice. I just take one of those 5s. I go over here. I only walk 3, but even though I spend at 5, that's no problem for me. And then I use a 1 stress to push this die up and 1 stress to push this die up. And now I spend my doubles of 2. I get 1 more stress because I used this space. And now I activate Provoke. And Provoke says, you immediately get 3 skill tokens during the enemy activation phase, but before target selection, you may spend those skill tokens on any enemy in line of sight range 6. And then, for the remainder of the round, Ashitaka counts as closest target for chosen enemies. Skill is only usable once per character activation phase. And there is a nanosync. So now I could ask Ada, hey, dear Ada, would you please want to support me? You don't need any line of sight, any range. Could you just spend 1 die and I get not only 3 skill tokens, but 4 skill tokens? Sweet deal. So Ada says, as she's a really nice girl, she just says, yeah, no problem, Ashitaka, here, you get my dice, I place it here, and you get 4 skill tokens to on Provoke. Or let me set this a bit more straight. So like this. So Provoke is activated. Nice. That's the most important thing. Every Ashitaka player, remember my words. It's your thing to make sure that people don't die during the enemy phase. You're really crucial. Tanking is very important. So next up, we have got 2 6s. Actually, I just want to attack because attacking is so cool. So I spent my 6 on this space, and I get my last stress to get a Nanoshock. So I spent my stress cube, goes here, I get 2 damage, I get 1 Nanoshock action marker. And I use this 6 for attacking, and you see I attack just with 2 dice, 1 from my card, from my weapon card, 1 from my character card, 2 dice. Would be really bad if the security droid wouldn't have a 5 of defense against close combat attacks. He's a bit more vulnerable. So perhaps I do something. Let's just see. 6 and 1. Awesome. So this security droid gets 1 more wound. Still not killed because he got 4 hit points. And I get 1 more stress. Sweet. And just to show you how the Nanoshock ability works, I will just spend my Nanoshock marker. And I now move up to 6 spaces forward. I cannot move on this space because it's blocked. Yeah. Okay. I could shortly move on it and then push back. This is integrated movement. Look it up in the rulebook. It actually says you can, like, before you end your Nanoshock action or your integrated movement, which comes with a skill, you can shortly be in a space which is already full or blocked, but then you are like getting back and, you know. So I do just rush over here, or let's just say to this space. So just 1 space forward from here to here. And I attack this security droid number 3 with all my dice, because now I get the upgrade for free. I don't need to spend another die to get this, so it's just +1 combat die from here. So 1 normal combat die, 3, 2, and 1 from the character card, 3. Oh, sweet. So I get 1 more. The security's defense against Nanoshock attacks is a 5. Below this lightning symbol, yeah, you see it? Like here. And I just roll my 3 dice. Let's see. Do we kill it? Oh, and that's how you kill them. Okay, nice. So he goes back to the spawn pool. I get rid of the damage markers. I mean, in the real game, you see it in your prototypes. There's 1 and 2 printed on 2 different sides. Just not possible in TTS. And then I've got line of sight to this space from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can provoke from here as well. So I don't spend the last die. So we don't need to place another reinforcement marker here. So sweet. Let's go over to Ada's turn. Ada is standing back there, and she's got 2 things to do. I mean, you see, like, those guys are really hit quite hard, and we don't want them to die in the enemy phase. So I need to heal them, but I also want to activate already the tank. So let's get there. How are the dice? Fine, totally good. So I use the 6. I manipulated before to a 5, so I get 2 stress for placing it and for manipulating it. And then I didn't move it to. Yeah, I did move it. No, I didn't. It was already the 1. Sorry. And then we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually, I'm so sorry. Very important rule. As long as you didn't randomize anything, so as long as you didn't roll dice or didn't take a card from a deck, you can always like redo your turns as often as you can remember. Okay, so your brain is the limit. So in this case, it's quite easy. So I changed this back to a 6, and I lose 1 stress because I need a movement of 6 to get to this place here. Here I want to get, and then I need a 4 or higher to interact with this tank. This is written here in my special rule 2, special space B. Characters can perform the following action on this space. Destroy the biotank, activation cost 4, range 0, so same space. Effect, remove block token in range 1. It doesn't make any difference, but actually it doesn't say A1, okay? So range 1 would be just across. But everything which I can take off here is in range 1, so it doesn't matter. But I need to spend a 4 to activate special space B. So let's see, we only have 3s. You know what this means. Change it to a 4. Put it off in the inactive bar. Activate the special space B and take off this block token. Take it off. Now the passageway is clear. But before we are like heading there, I have duties to fulfill as I'm the healer. And I need to heal my friends, so I make this a 4, I make this a 4, I get 2 stress. I use those 2 dice and I get another stress, and I get my Nanoshock. Nice. So 2 damage. But actually I use those 2 dice to activate Medkit. And Medkit says heal up to 3 damage or 1 effect marker on a character in line of sight range 6. The point already is gone. There's interpunctional error on this card, but we already changed it. So I could heal 3 damage on any of my companions because they are all in line of sight. Now I remove the block token. I also can see the lead. They are all in range 6. I just may choose who gets rid of 3 damage, and I choose Cora because she's sweet. And then I still have my Nanoshock marker, and I give it away. And my Nanoshock action says just remove 6 damage from any characters you want. No line of sight, no range, however you want. So perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you see, I left 1 damage for Ashitaka because sometimes when the enemies are at the same distance, they chose the one who is more damaged. So perhaps we can lure them into attacking Ashitaka. I used my last die, so here goes one of the reinforcement points. And that's the character turn finished. So now over to the enemy turn. We look at the reinforcement table. We already looked at it in the video before, but let's look again. Auto reinforcement, 2 biomutants, 2 security droids, and then for 2 reinforcement points, 1 biomutant. So let's spawn. 2 biomutants auto reinforcement, 2 security droids auto reinforcement, and we have 3 reinforcement points, so let's get rid of 2 for another biomutant. And the last one goes as stress to the start player, so Valid gets 1 stress. And we get them over here and spawn them on the map. So first roll for the biomutant number 1 goes to space number 6. Biomutant number 2 goes to number 6. Oh, this is statistically not as I wanted. Then number 5, better. Now number 6, they are all spawning over here. So you can get like surprised sometimes. Okay, so this is the enemy action phase now. Now the enemy activates in initiative order. As I said, as first the enemy card which is laying at a higher position than the other one, above the other one. So the biomutants first, and the standee number 1. So this biomutant number 1 would choose Valid as his target. So he would go to Valid and straight in his face. Valid has a very bad defense against close combat attacks, so we don't want this. Just come over, says Ashitaka. And as this guy is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so range 6 of Ashitaka, which is perfectly fine. And in line of sight, we spend 1 of our Provoke tokens and get this guy over to Ashitaka. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's just standing now here. As he has a range of A1, he can attack diagonally to Ashitaka. It's A1 adjacent 1, always uses as well diagonally adjacent spaces. Gets 3 attack dice against Ashitaka's defense of 6. 5 to 8. Nothing happens because I've got 1 armor and this hit gets nullified. So, next one, number 2. He would as well use Valid as target, and we just say, come over, why are you attacking this poor alien? Come to this space and attack Ashitaka and don't do any damage. So let's do this. 2, 5, 1, nothing, but 1 reinforcement point as the enemy rolled a 1. The third one is this one, and he's attacking us as well with 3 dice. Here we go, 5, 1, 1, nothing but 2 reinforcement points. Everything clear so far? So those were our 3 biomutants which got spawned. Now let's get to the droids. Number 1 would take Valid as a target. We just say, no, why? Why do you do this? Come over, here I am. And he wants to stand in a position which is 3 spaces away because he's a shooting combatant. And he's got 4 dice. Ooh, dangerous. Let's see. He has 1 hit and he may reroll all 2s and 3s. That's his special ability on his card. So let's do this. He's better at hitting. Oh. You see, he's got 3 hits, so Ashitaka takes 2 damage and 1 reinforcement point to the reinforcement pool. You see, this adds up quite fastly. Now we've got number 2. Number 2 would attack Korra or Ada. We still got 1 of these tokens left, and we will use it because we don't want the girls to be attacked. And we get this guy by now saying, come over to Ashitaka, attack me, I am here. He just moves 1 forward like this. Now he's in a perfect range of 3, maximum range, on a good spot. He attacks Ashitaka. The 3 gets re-rolled, but he does no damage. 1 hit is not enough to come through the armor of Ashitaka, and the 1 just gives us another reinforcement point. Now let's go to the almost last one. The 3 automatically attacks Ashitaka as Ashitaka is the closest, and this one goes 1, 2, 3, 4 over here to be in maximum range, or you could also go over there we can choose whenever it's not clear, we can choose. I mean, this game is difficult enough, believe me. And then we just roll the 4 dice to attack Ashitaka, and he gets 2 damage as well. Very good. And 1 reinforcement point. So last one. This one, we do not see him. Yeah, we cannot see him. And for target selection, it's not important if he can see anybody else. It's just an imaginary movement. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 to Valid. Valid is the closest target. Ashitaka cannot provoke. First, he has no skill tokens left. Second, he cannot see this guy because there's a red border everywhere. So he just walks 1, 2. He gets not pushed off by this block token. He can just go through. And he has to stay here to get in line of sight and maximum range of Valid. And then he attacks Valid. But Valid is not so bad against... sorry, we rerolled this. And I may reroll that. So Valid has a defense value against shooting attacks of 6. He's a good shooter himself. So he gets 2 hits. And as he has no armor, he gets 2 damage. So that's the enemy action phase. Now we go to turn 2. Get one of those tokens for moving this marker. We reset our stress by 2 levels. So the stress cube goes back. We take off our dice. We roll them. We choose the starting player. We do our actions. A new character turn starts. And now I think you are ready to play by yourselves. I think I told you everything which you need to know. As soon as you did the victory conditions, you are supposed to read section C101. And then you will see how the story of this encounter progresses. I hope you had some fun, and I really wish you luck and fun with our game. So see you soon. Thanks for watching.